Hey guys, welcome to another video on my channel, and in today's video we are going to be doing some live commentary again. So this is going to be similar to my live streams, not as long, more condensed, and we are going to be throwing in some tutorial into that as well. So many of you guys have been asking me, Adrian, should I buy a Carnage or should I buy a Fujin? Both of them are workshop robots and they both cost the same, so I can understand that question. What I've actually done here was I've loaded up 2 Carnage Thunders and I've loaded up 3 Fujins, 2 of them with Terrans and 1 with Orkans. I know some of you may be wondering, Adrian, why didn't you put Punishers or Molots or Tulumbus on some of your Fujins? So in order to do a fair comparison between these two bots, if I'm going to run close range on the Carnage, then it only makes sense to run the deadliest weapons which are close range on the Fujin, so that the comparison is fair. Because if I were to put, say, Molots and Punishers on 2 of these Fujins and then we land in on a Dead City map, it's not really going to be a good comparison because it's going to favor the Carnage Thunder. And if we run into, say, Canyon map and then we've got Punishers and Molots, it could potentially favor the Fujin. So that's why I've kind of run similar weapon ranges on the 2 robots so that we can get that fair comparison when we evaluate the 2 and see which one is the better buy. Before I get started here, I am going to show you my profile just so that you know that everything is max level, so that the comparison is going to be fair. Before I get started, many of you guys keep looking at my average damage. I would not look into my average damage too much, because when I run my strong hanger, I usually average around about over 700,000. That tends to be my average. When I do videos such as this, I'm running a very weak hanger. I'm going up against the Lancelots, the Galahads, Griffins, Furies, and these bots that I'm running right now don't do well against those. That's just me being honest. That's just how the meta of the game is, and because of that, my average damage usually drops 200 to 300,000 when I make these videos. So I'm just putting it out there because many of you guys seem so interested in my average damage for some reason. But I am in Champion League, as you can see, the top right corner, so I will be going up against some high level players out there. So what am I going to do here? I'm going to run 3 games. It's all going to be in a row so that we can get a general idea of how well these bots perform in high level. As I said, I will be running into a lot of Lancelots, a lot of Galahads, Griffins, Furies, and I think that's the bulk of where a lot of players seem to be in terms of their hangers, and we can even take a look at the hangers after each game just to check them out. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to be up against. And the Carnage and the Fujin in general are very squishy bots. And that's why I don't personally run it in my main hanger, because they're just too weak. But for the players that are in the lower levels and they want to try something different, maybe this will appeal to them. When we are out on the battlefield, another thing too, keep your eyes peeled out for how many Fujins and how many Carnage you see, whether it be on my team or the other team, because that's usually a sign of which bot performs better. Because a lot of players in the higher level of play, they tend to run builds which do a lot of damage. It has a lot of HP, and that's just how the meta of the game is. So if you don't see any Carnage or you don't see any Fujin, that is usually the first sign. Okay, so I'm going to run with my Fujin Orkans first. Let's take a look to see what we're dealing with here on my team. You don't see any Carnage and you don't see any Fujins. This guy's just getting in the way. So while we're in this game, I guess I might as well discuss the advantages and disadvantages of the Fujin. So the advantages: 3 medium weapons can pack a punch. You get hit by, say, 3 Orkans, definitely no joke. That's a lot of damage. The other thing is the Fujin actually has more HP than the Carnage, and the shield is stronger. It regenerates a lot quicker too. So that's the nice thing about the Fujin. It can be work great as a support bot if you know how to use it. Just taking a look to see what we're dealing with here. The downside to the Fujin, when you look at the way the legs are and how wide it is, if you are going through a narrow gap and you have teammates behind you, it could become a problem because you end up blocking them, which can be very annoying for your teammates because you can get them killed. Just taking a look to see what this guy's got. I've got a stalker back here. And the other downside to the Fujin is, you know, when you have I had to put my they have someone firing splash back there, so I had to use my shield. So the downside to the Fujin is when you do use your sentry shield, it locks you down and you can't move around to avoid enemy fire. That's actually a very big negative, and I think a lot of players they don't understand that, and it's something that you really do need to understand, because if you I don't know why this guy jumped in front of me. I need to get this beacon here because we're down in beacons. Waiting for my rush before I go in and I kill this guy. He's in a griffin, and that's bad news for him because Carnage will, you know, shred him up pretty quick. So yeah, the bad thing with the Fujin, the legs are very wide and takes up a lot of space. So if you're in a gap and your teammates need to get past you, you end up blocking them, which can be very annoying for your teammates. The other thing is when you have your sentry shield up, you are locked down and you can't move around, and you know, you generally can't move around the map quickly with it, which is a problem. I think this guy realizes who I'm at. I'm actually gonna run in here because this guy, he's in a griffin, so he's very squishy to me and I can take him out. This guy here might be a problem too. No, I took him out. Okay, there we go. So yeah, the Fujin, you get locked down when you are in sentry mode, which is a problem because if someone is firing at you... Ooh, that guy shouldn't have run at me like that. He actually took more damage than he probably should have. When you're in sentry mode, you lock down and you can't move. So if someone has, say, plasma weapons and they fire at you, you are sitting duck. Because it's a lot easier to hit a target that doesn't move versus one that moves. So that's something that you must keep in mind. What is this guy doing? I see you. I think he's he wants to drop down and get this beacon, but he's hesitating. He doesn't, I don't know if he sees this death button here. Trying to get this my Trons to take him out. I know many of you may be saying, you know, Adrian, why don't you put your shield up? The reason why you don't want to do that is because if you are firing at someone and you immediately see that, you know, they have Terrans, the worst thing that you could possibly do is put your shield up, because they can fire through your shield. If you want, I could even demonstrate here now. So I'm gonna go into sentry mode. Watch my health. They took me out because I can't block plasma, so that's why I don't do it. And if they have Orkans, that's a different story. If they have Orkans, it's rockets and missiles. You can block it with your shield. So you see how this guy's firing through my shield. I have an energy shield similar to that of a Fujin. I'm actually gonna run here. My goal is actually to sneak up behind this guy while he has his back. There we go. Trying to see if this guy, I don't know why he didn't put up his shield. Probably should have. Bad move. And somehow I managed to survive with 4,000. Wow. I just realized that we don't really have much players on our team. Damn. They kind of took us all out. Okay, well this game's over. Apparently they ended up in a spawn or something. I don't know what happened there. But as you can see, we were a player down. As you can see, the Carnage ended up doing better than the Fujin. So let's take a look at who we are up against. As you can see, even though this guy is level 11 stuff, when you get to level 11, you're basically max level. If you get hit by a level 11 weapon, more often than not, you won't even be able to tell the difference. That's just how it is. This guy is all fully maxed out. Okay, so you can see who I'm up against. So these are like high level players, as I mentioned. Let's see this one. He's got level 10. He's got a bit of a mixed stuff here, but a couple of level 12 weapons, and that's usually what hurts. Okay. So that's our first game. I think I'm going to run another 2 more games, and we'll see how it goes. I'm debating on whether I should actually put Zeus on and Molots, just to mix things up, but I think I'm going to keep it all the same because this way we can get a better comparison, especially if we land in on a bigger map. So if we land on like Canyon map, then I think that's going to be an interesting one. So far I would say the Carnage actually performed better. I was able to take out a couple of Griffins, a Lancelot, the Fujin, not so much. The Fujin is really hard when you're trying to move around. It takes just forever. Never been a fan of it. Looks like we've got a clanmate who just dropped in here. So I think I'm gonna start with, I'm gonna do a Fujin. Let's see how long it actually takes me to get to this platform on the right side. Yeah, so it's going to take me a while to move around. With the Carnage, you at least have the... with the Carnage, you at least have the rush. So I'm not going to go up the ramp first. I'm going to let my teammate go up there first because I'm in a Fujin and I'm going to end up blocking him, which I don't want to do. So that's why I'm letting him go up there first. And plus he has the rush ability as well. He's getting hit with spirals. I think that one player might have. Oh, here's it must be aphids and hydra or something. So I'm gonna move across here. Oh, he's got a. I'm gonna go into a stealth. Or not stealth, sentry rather. The only reason why I'm doing this is because this guy here on the side, he's got Orkans, and I need to see, I need to get around here first. Okay, so I managed to take those guys out. I'm so busted up here, I'm gonna have to ditch this. See if I can get this Galahad. We need to clear out this center here. Okay, so we've got the platform covered, and I'm going into center with my Carnage. I might just hide behind the wall here because I want these guys to get close. In order for me to do a lot of damage to them, they need to be close. So there's a guy going across. So the nice thing about the Carnage is you can move from point A to point B a lot quicker. You have the shield, which you don't actually have to activate separately, which is really nice. Okay, now I'm going to use that rush, because now he's very vulnerable and it's a griffin, and yeah, that just happened. Trying to knock down his shield so that he can take all the damage from those Orkans. If I keep his shield down, then he's vulnerable. We've got a guy on the left side here too. Okay, so just looking to see what we have to deal with. I'm looking on the side here. This guy gets very, very close, which is actually what I want. Then here we go. No. That's a lot of Ancelots back there. I think I'm going to move up to center with my Fujin and Orkans. That way we can get some more splash in on those Ancelots, because if we knock down their shields, then they're very vulnerable to Orkans. But that Carnage is ruthless. Even on a map like this, you want to stick to cover though. If you stick to cover, then you'll use the strength of the Carnage, and with two Thunders, so deadly. Okay, so he doesn't have much of a shield. This is where I'm going to use my Orkans here. I'm going to focus him down. And I'm moving from side to side. I'm not going to put up my shield because it doesn't really serve me much good to have that shield up when they can fire all the way through. So that's why I didn't do that. I'm just waiting for my Orkans to charge up here. I think he might. Is he going to go on this side? I don't know if he's going to jump, but if he does, whatever it is that he does. Yeah. These guys are moving. So take a look at this. If I need to move across, to the platform, it's going to take me a while to get there. And that's a problem, because if you need to get into position quick to help your teammates out, it's going to take me a while to get there. If I'm in a Carnage, I can get there a lot quicker. Let's see this guy. Okay, so I managed to take him out. Man, there's a lot of Rogatkas. For those of you that are wondering why there's so many Rogatkas, it's because today iOS received the update. Android's already had this for a week. So you guys get to see, I guess, firsthand the map. Trying to climb up here, but I can't. If I was in a Raijing, I could, but not the Fujin. Trying to move around here to get into position because we need to cover the side. There's a couple death buttons and stuff waiting there. I didn't put my shield up because that one guy has plasma and it'll go right through my shield. Just trying to get some damage on that. So if I go into sentry mode, you see the guy on the left side, his plasma went through. That's why I didn't do that. And let's see if I can knock his shield down here. If I can knock his shield down, he's vulnerable to Orkans. There's a lot of dead bots here at center. Everyone seems to be going into center. This guy's in trouble. If I make my way around that wall, man, that's not going to be fun for him. So remember when I was in my Fujin and I was looking across and the enemy was on the platform, and I said it was going to take me a while to get there. Well, let's take a look at how long it takes the Carnage to get across. So you have a rush, and you can easily dash across here if you need to get into position quickly. You can't do that with the Fujin, and that's a disadvantage, because if you need to help out your teammates or you need to protect the beacon, you can do that with a Carnage, but you can't do that with a Fujin. Not as easily, should I say. Trying to see if I can get around here. I've got to be careful of this guy actually, because they got a death button. Whoa, I killed both of them. That's funny. I don't think I've ever done that with a Carnage. I want to see if I can... Yep, that guy got taken out. So we're going to get this beacon back. So do you guys actually see like how I'm able to get around the map a lot quicker with the Carnage? And that's what makes, in my mind, or at least my eyes, that's what I like about the Carnage. If I'm doing a comparison and why I prefer it over the Fujin. I think I just stole like everyone's kills back there. Especially the double kill. That was pretty crazy. There were two guys and I killed both of them with my Carnage Thunder at the same time. That was really nice actually. So we've done 2 games. Let's run another one. So far the Carnage Thunder seems to shine. I could run the Zeus and I could run Molots and stuff, but this isn't really about that. It's, you know, when it comes to builds like, you know, close range builds, I think if a bot is able to hold its own, that's usually an indicator of how strong the bot is in higher level play. You are seeing a lot of Lancelots, a lot of Galahads, Griffins, Furies. When we did see, like, you know, the Carnage of Fujin out there, we actually haven't really seen a Fujin, I think, but we have seen Carnage. And that's usually a sign, as I said. If you see Carnage out there and you don't see Fujin in high level play, it probably means that the Fujin is not strong enough, and that's why players aren't running it. But we have seen Carnage, so that's a good sign. So again, we've landed in on the moon map. Just scanning around here to see who I'm up against, looking to see what the other team drops in, and see if we can actually see any Carnage or any Fujins. Oh, we see a Fujin. That's interesting. Now, what is that guy running? He's running Terrans as well. Yeah, so we're looking at like the stronger builds. I'm gonna run the Orkan build, and we'll see if I can get within range of, say, like a Galahad or something. This is, I'm actually not in a good position because these guys are going to be able to... So you see this guy here, he's in a Ancelot. I need to check to see what my teammate is in. They've got a guy up top here. I actually waited for my teammate to go there so that I could knock this guy's shield down. I know some of you may be wondering, you know, like, Adrian, why don't you put your shield up? This is what happens. Watch my health. This guy has Terrans. Notice how the health was dropping? Just watch, he's gonna kill me now, watch this. It's because I can't block him, that's why I don't put my shield up. So that's a demonstration once again. I'm now in a Carnage Thunder. Let's see if I can get close here. Gotta be careful because... Yeah, this guy's... Here's another example too. I have an energy shield, but he has a physical shield, so he is actually better protected than I am. He took me down to, you know, a third of my health left, so I'm almost dead. The Carnage Thunder is very exposed on when you're in open areas, so like I don't want to engage this guy if I can avoid it. We need to get beacons though. Okay, so I'm gonna move a little bit to the left side. I have to really be careful here because I don't have much health left. So this is gonna be my last game, and then I will wrap things up and I'll give a summary of which bot I prefer over the other one. Yeah, I gotta really be careful here because these guys have... try to lock onto that Rogatka, but it didn't. Oops, looks like we've got connecting. This is funny because this is the first time I've actually run into the whole connecting thing. I'm gonna see if I can get within range. I've only got 4,000 though, so chances are I'm gonna die here. Yep, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna run my Fujin here with Terrans because I need that reachability, and also I think they have someone with the Ansel shield there, so at least I can shoot through it. I need to get within range here. These guys are all stacking up too. I'm moving around. I'm not putting up my shield because this way I can move around and makes it harder for them to target me. Just remember, a moving target is a lot harder to hit than one that is stationary. So if I'm like down like this, guess what? I can't move. So if there's someone nearby with plasma, all they have to do is lock on me and fire straight. They don't even have to worry about me moving around. But if I don't have my shield up, I can move around and it's a lot harder for them to hit me. That's why I always keep my shield down if I can. The only time that I will use my shield is if I see the other guy has something like Orkans. In that case, then I definitely need that shield up, because if I don't have it up, I'm gonna get smoked. But if they have plasma, I don't want that shield up. Oh, I'm gonna put it up here so that my teammate can at least use my shield. Did you guys actually see how, you know, when I was in sentry mode, the guy couldn't get past me? I got in his way. Now, you know, sometimes you can actually end up killing your teammates, and that's one thing that I didn't really like about the Fujin. See if I can get into a range. This guy is at 350. Guess what? There's a Carnage Thunder on the side. He's probably going to take me out. I'm going to go into a... He's going to take me out, I think. He just needs to knock down my shield here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm going to use my Carnage Thunder. So far we did see a Fujin on the other side, but we're seeing a Carnage as well now. And this guy's, I think he's hesitating, or he's looking to see if there's a backup here. I'm moving a little bit to the left side because these guys are gravitating towards the left side of the map. This one guy down here looks like he wants to protect this, or at least go through and capture this beacon. Yeah, I've got to be careful about how I move around here. Yeah, one guy on the left side, I'm not sure what he's in. You can see there's a lot of guys that are going to capture this beacon, so basically they need to sit on this beacon here in order to capture it. I'm actually going to see if... every time I look down at the ground, I'm going to see if I can actually sneak around here, because, I mean, we need beacons quick, but if I can sneak around and catch these guys by surprise and shoot them in the back. Oh man, we need a beacon quick. Our beacon bar is going to be... I don't want to move out just yet. There's a guy moving here. I'm trying to bust through his shield. If I can bust through his shield, I can take him out. I bust through his shield. He doesn't really have much of a shield left there. These guys are really locking down our right side, and it looks like we're starting to mech out too. So, I'm gonna have to see if I can barge my way through and at least capture that beacon. Whoa, Fujin's doing the twitch. It's getting antsy. Target down that griffin. Okay, I'm gonna go into a sentry mode here so that the Fujin... Let's see. When he comes out, then that's when I want to hit him. I gotta be careful of that griff though. I've got to get down. I've got to... I had to drop my Drop my shield because I gotta move. These guys have a lot of plasma back there, and I don't want to get hit by plasma because plasma goes right through my shield. That guy backed up. There was a lot of damage, I think, on his... Yeah, I don't want to engage that. Trying to see... I know I could put my shield up, but I really don't want to, because if I do, then I'm a very easy target for them. They got a guy down there with the Hawkins, but the other one has Terrans, and it's the Terrans one that, you know, I'm really worried about. So if I can bust through his shield, take him out, then I can... There we go. So now this guy, I think he has Hawkins. No, he has Terrans. So maybe I took out the other one that had... Yeah. This is gonna be a close one. There's 1 minute 33. It's 4 versus 4. Look at the beacon bars. Very close. We are winning, but only slightly. I think if we could capture another beacon, we'll end up winning this. We're capturing another beacon. It looks like it's going to be in our favor. 4 beacons on. Yeah, I think this will actually do it. We have fewer players than they do, but we've got 4 beacons, and it's going to end. These guys are in slow bots. There's no ways that they can get another beacon quick enough. Wow, that was actually a very good game. Yeah, that was a very good game, that one. So let's take a look to see what these guys are running, just so that you can see that, you know, I am up against some high-level players. Although this guy has like level 10 Lancelot Griffin, his weapons are all pretty much maxed out, which means, you know, he has that damage potential to be up there. Let's take a look at this guy. All level 12, it looks like. Yep, everything's max level. Just so that you can see what I'm up against. You know, these aren't like low level players and stuff. So this guy he does have a Fujin. All weapons level at 12. He has a Carnage. So take a look at this. Like, see a lot of Lancelots, and sometimes you get a Fury, Griffin, Galahads. That's, I guess, the majority of what you will end up seeing in high level play. So being that was the last game, let's get back to the question now. Should you buy a Carnage or should you buy a Fujin? So my answer to that question is you should get the Carnage. I know both of them have the same amount in terms of price for workshop points. I think it's 13,000 workshop points. But in terms of value, I think the Carnage is the better bot. And the reason why, first of all, you can get from point A to point B a lot quicker. On top of that, you know, your shield that you have, you don't have to activate it manually like you do with the Fujin. So with the Fujin, in order to use the shield, you have to go into sentry mode. And when you go into sentry mode, you can't move, which can be a bit of a problem because you're locking down. And if there's a plasma griffin or something nearby, you are a sitting duck because all they have to do is lock onto you, and they can move around in circles and fire at you, and you can't really do anything. The only way that you can get out of that is to disable your sentry shield. So the Carnage, you know, you don't have that problem, so you can move around the map a lot quicker, get into position quicker, but to also attack a lot quicker as well. So that's what I've really liked about the Carnage. The other thing is with the Fujin, you saw in a number of instances where, you know, I was running and, you know, I'd either lock down or I would just get in the way of my teammates because the legs tend to be very wide when it drops or like plops down. When it's walking, the legs are always getting in the way of your teammates, and that can be a problem. As you know, it can get your teammates killed. Sometimes it can even get yourself killed if you can't move around, like get through a gap quick enough. And that's a problem because, you know, in high-level play, you're going to be playing against players that rush at you. You know, they come at you from all directions, and you've got to be able to evade them. And you can't really do that well running the Fujin. The other two things which I'm going to add in terms of something that you may have not considered as well. So with the Carnage, especially the Carnage Zeus, the Zeus weapon is actually very effective at taking down the Dash MK1 and MK2 robots. So that's something that you must take into consideration, because you can only put the Zeus on the Carnage, you can't put the Zeus on the Fujin. The other plus side to the Carnage is that recently we have been testing the heavy machine gun prototype weapon. So it's kind of like a heavy Molot, and the Carnage build, or the heavy Molot build on the Carnage, is actually pretty effective. I was in a game where I actually took out, I think, 2 or 3 Furies with it, and they were running the similar build where they also had the Fury with the heavy machine gun prototype. So that's another advantage to the Carnage over the Fujin. So although the Carnage has less health, its shield is a little bit weaker, there's more advantages to the Carnage because, again, you can move around the map a lot quicker, and it's a lot faster than the Fujin. So hopefully this info has been valuable to you guys and helped in guiding you into making the better choice in terms of, better buy, which one is the better buy between the two. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't yet subscribed, please do subscribe. And I guess until the next video, I'll catch you guys later.